Shenmue was one of the most influential games of the 90s, for its innovative QuickTime events to its unique storytelling. The story setup is pretty simple, albeit a little bit tropey. It's just your classic revenge story, A mysterious man arrives at Ryo Hazuki's house and kills his father.
No!
And then Ryu decides that he's going to make it his life's goal to avenge his father's death.
They killed my father, right in front of me. I will have my revenge.
Now, the bulk of the gameplay is going to be going from person to person looking for leads on where Landy, the man who killed your father's whereabouts.
Mishima-san,
Oh, hello, Ryo.
that day of the incident, did you see some men dressed in black suits?
Black suits? No, I didn't see them.
Well, did you happen to notice anything unusual?
Oh, nothing worth mentioning.
I'm looking for anything at all. Is there anything you remember?
I'm sorry, Ryo. The weather was awful, so I stayed inside all day. Did you ask Sumiya-san? She knows about everything that occurs in this neighborhood.
Is that so?
Unfortunately, it's not the 90s anymore, and this is one of the most dreadful, boring experiences I've ever had the misfortune of experiencing in modern-day gaming. Now, you might be thinking, oh my god, it's a 90s game. Why would you say that about it? It's a cult classic. And yes, while that is true, it doesn't matter because I'm reviewing it as a game released in 2018. And as a game released in 2018, it's got so many problems with it, I almost couldn't even bring myself to finish it. Now, the reason I'm reviewing it as a game released in 2018 instead of a nostalgia trip is because everybody else will just tell you, oh, it was one of the best games of the 90s, oh my god, it was a classic, greatest open world game of all time. And while that might have been true in the 1990s when it first released for the Dreamcast, it's no longer the case as a brand new game that is being released to a modern consumer base. And before you even question it, yes, I played the Dreamcast version when it came out. Yes, I own a copy. Yes, I have a Dreamcast. I know how good this game was in 1999. I loved it then. But I hate it now. And here's why. Shenmue is set in a bland town with robotic, boring characters.
The incident? I heard about it from Nozomi. It must be hard for you.
No, I'm fine. I need to ask you something.
I got nothing to say to you. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? You frontin' with me?
I've got a question for you.
I told you, forget it. I will hurt you.
Map usage is limited to specific areas on each part of the town. Why? This was the most frustrating thing I've had to deal with in any game I've ever played. A lot of the times the voice acting feels very bad, very stiff, very unnatural. You'll see many examples of this throughout your many interactions with NPCs throughout Ryu's quest. Like this one here.
Hi.
How's it going?
What's wrong?
I'm so thirsty. I want a drink, but I don't have any change.
I'll buy you one. What do you want?
You're really nice. Thanks.
Ryo's more aggressive interactions with people are often really fucking hilarious because it just comes off as he's trying so hard to act alpha.
I don't have time for this. Get lost.
That's it, your history.
Don't mess with me again. Got it?
All right. right.
And when you're not fucking up punks and gang members,
Get out of my way.
What? Go home. Oh, hey, you!
you're gonna be spending the majority of your time in the arcade pissing away your money, or in the casino pissing away your money because you can't get anything good with them except little, dart collectibles.
So close. The best.
Wow, man, you're pretty good. You won a prize. Here you go.
Thanks.
I initially had a lot of fun spending time in the slot machine building, but that was completely shattered when I found out I can't really cash out my coins that I win for yen because reasons. The only thing those are good for is like getting 30,000 of them to gain another collectible capsule toy. Woo! And unfortunately, you're going to have to be finding ways to waste your time a lot, because usually you're going to have to wait several in-game hours in order to wait for the next mission to pop up. And I believe a full in-game day is about 15 minutes of real time, so you'll be standing around for anywhere between 3 to 10 minutes, just waiting. Unless you go into the arcade and fuck off there. Now, that's not to say everything about Shenmue is terrible. The QuickTime events are well implemented. They're pretty fun. I like them, personally. They're intense, at times.
What are you, some kind of TV detective or something?
Back off.
You little punk. You looking for some of this? You stupid!
That's enough. You put on quite a show, boy.
The free fighting segments of the game, while they're few and far between, they offer a pretty detailed fighting system that Ryu can learn through scrolls in shops you can buy, or by learning them from NPCs that you encounter. Now, while you actually can enter most buildings in the town, the problem with that is most of the buildings you go into there's just nothing interesting inside them. Now, near the end of the game, you will be able to partake in forklift mini racing when Rio gets a job on the harbor.
Ready? Go!
The racing mechanics are pretty average for the time period. Nothing special here about them. You get, I think, 6 days to race, and it automatically happens every day once you reach a certain point in the story. So you don't have to really win. It doesn't really matter. You just get collectibles for placing in each spot, 1 through 5. In the end, Shenmue is only going to appeal to a very select niche audience, such as fans of the original Dreamcast release, fans of retro games, or people just really, really wanting to experience the first 2 stories before Shenmue III releases next year. There is a good story here. It's just a damn shame that you have to put up with so much tedium in order to get to it. And that is why I give Shenmue a 2 out of 5.